Hello everybody, good afternoon. I'm Terry, and what I decided to do today is make as simple as I can video on how to build stocking holders made from partially pallet boards and picket fences. And what I have here is a 3 stocking holder that I made the other day. It was my first design from something that I had saw on Facebook that somebody in my church had posted asking if I could make them one. I made them a 4 picket design. It was dark walnut. It's got their names on it on the tops. I'll show it to you in a little bit. There's 4 names, and at the bottom it says Merry Christmas, and it's pretty neat because, you know, my wife, she does vinyl, so together we're knocking these out. I posted a couple on Facebook Marketplace, and I've got approximately 15 orders right now. It just blew up on me. And like I said, all this is picket fences. As you can see, those are there. I got those 2, and there's another one around the corner of the fence you can't see. So I got 3 more to tear down as it goes. This is a fairly easy design. When I first made this one right here was the first one I made. I'm going to fix it because I'm not happy with it, and I'll tell you why I'm not happy with it. It's because when I built it, I let this come out here and not overlap the front and the back boards. So what I'm going to do is take my trusty Harbor Freight table saw and rip me down a couple more, and they're going to be a little bit half an inch wider, and they're going to cover up my mistake. But let's get to it. If you want all the measurements, here they are. Let's see. You got 3 pickets, and this is going by an average size stocking that I had here at the house, and the same size that the lady I know is using on hers this year, and they work out pretty well because they're going to have hooks on them, and they're each, you know, I've got them separated enough. There's 5 inches separation in between them. That gives you enough room for the foot and for the heel of the stocking as it hangs here, because, you know, it hangs kind of an angle. So what I've got here is 3 pickets cut at 32 inches, and they're approximately 3.5 to 3 5/8 inch wide, and that is these 1, 2, 3. So this is my 3 pickets. There's their 1, 2, 3. There you go. As for the sides, which are these right here, I cut 2 of them at 7.5 inches long. That's this right here. Like I said, everything will be sanded down, and it'll all be stained. It'll all look really good when I'm done. But those are the 2 sides, which are these parts right here. This one and the other side over there. Then you got my top boards. And since I didn't like this at 3.5, I went ahead and ripped them down into 4 inches, which will totally cover the sides right here. And these 2 right here. These are actual pallet boards. And those are 4 inches wide, and they're 25.25 inches long. See this? 25.25 inches long. And that's for this one and this one. That will cover up these edges, so I won't have this problem again. Then you got the front and the back, which this is the back, and this is the front. Those are also 25.25 inches long, and they're 3.5 inches. Because I'm saying 3.5 because my frame, I'm using 2x4s, which are 3.5 inches. As for your frame, you're going to need 3 cut-off 2x4s at 21 inches each. You're going to need 2 cut-offs of your 2x4 at 7.5 inches long each. What that does here, your 7.5, your 7.5. These are 21s. You want them to run on the inside. Now what I've done here, as you can see, I've used my countersink, which I would highly recommend you getting a countersink, which it lets the heads of the screws sink, and it also helps with the screws going through without splitting the lumber, which I use 3-inch screws. As you can see how I've got this is how I marked it out. Got it from the end here, 3.5 inches long. I've got the line there because I want my 2x4 to end right there. Same with this side. That gives me another 1/2 inch from the thickness of my picket to set up against here, here, and here, which I'll screw them in there before I put this frame together. And then there's the front. I like the idea of it setting back a little bit because it gives a little more stability. You run your screws here, run your screws in here, you run your screws in here. Oh, look at Mr. B's lamb. As you see, I've got it marked off already. It's basically 3 5/8. I got 5 inches in between, and I've got another one at 3 5/8, and I got another 5 inches in between, and this one 3 5/8 also. It averages out pretty well. If it's off a little bit, you know, in the middle, it's no big deal. Just try to split the difference. So what I'm going to do now is lay out my pickets. Okay, you see where I had the lines. I got it all set in there just right. I just set the other ones two in the back just to give a little bit of support. I use my countersink. I put two screws in each one. Just for this, I just use 1¼ inch drywall screws. Like I said, countersunk. It all works out just fine. Now there will be a board going across the back, just like this right here. We'll give it the support side to side. But right here, these aren't going nowhere, and it's going to work out just fine.